Lotto Cash Desto was on her way up in the industry and linking with superstars like Lil Uzi Vert, and that's why fans were shocked after she was brutally murdered in 2022. At first it seemed like a random hit, but today we're breaking down the crazy story behind why she could have been killed. On September 24th, 2022, Lotto Cash Desto was leaving the club with a friend in Houston just before 3 in the morning. Desto and her homegirl Amara Hughes had just left someone's birthday party at a club called Spire and were on their way to another club in the city. While they were driving down Richmond Avenue, another whip stopped in front of them. They sat there for a second, then two dudes wearing bandanas on their faces got out of the car with guns and started walking towards Desto and Amara. Desto was ready for the smoke though. She had her own gun and started letting off shots out of the whip. She caught one of the dudes in the stomach, but they busted back and ended up killing her with a shot to the head. Her friend Amara got hit too, but luckily she was able to make it out alive. When the police rode up to the scene after the shooting went down, they found Lotto Cash Desto dead in the driver's seat and Amara next to her bleeding out from a bunch of gunshot wounds. And in front of the whip, they spotted a bunch of shell casings from a rifle and pistol. It's not clear exactly how it all went down, but one of the shooters left his homie bleeding out on the scene. The cops found a dude named Christian Isaiah Williams in a parking lot across the street from where Desto was killed. He had a gunshot in his stomach and was rushed to the hospital. But after Amara told the cops what went down, they realized that Christian Williams was one of the shooters and booked him for Desto's murder. Williams was charged while he was still recovering in the hospital, so he didn't have a chance to do the race. And when the cops started pressing him about what happened, Williams couldn't keep his story straight and kept changing it up. Then in April 2023, the cops arrested another dude named Jeremiah Smith for the shooting. It's not clear how they found out he was involved, but they tracked him down while he was hiding out in Alexandria, Louisiana, and brought him back to Texas. When the news broke about Desto getting killed, it shocked the whole rap game. She came up in Memphis, which is a wild city where a lot of rappers have been murdered. But before she died, Desto had to move away from her hometown and was living in Houston. Most rappers who get murdered die in their hometown, and that's what made the situation even crazier. Desto had made it out of Memphis, but someone still caught up to her and left her dead in the street. Desto had been making music her whole life, but right before she died, everything was really about to pop off for her. She had just linked up with Lil Uzi Vert and signed a deal with his label. They dropped tracks together like Lunchroom in Vegas and were getting super close before Desto was killed. Uzi had so much love for Desto, he even paid for her funeral and gave a speech. During the funeral, he told everyone that he had to go to rehab for a while and that Desto would call him every single day to make sure he was good. They didn't know each other for long, but it's clear that Uzi and Desto were seriously tight. And on the track, Days Come and Go, Lil Uzi shouted her out and admitted he dropped $200K on the funeral when he rapped, "I got too much on my mind, I got too much on my plate. I spent $200,000 on Desto funeral, that's an estate. I don't know why they be mad at me, cause I'm expressing my ways. I don't know why I cry sometimes, maybe I'm blessed with no faith." Lil Uzi wasn't the only star in the rap game who was missing Desto. After the news broke about her death, Kodak Black hopped on Instagram and said he was about to sign her too. Yak planned on buying Desto a new Corvette and giving her a bunch of cash after he found her on Instagram and started rocking with her music. Desto was linking up with rappers all over the country and even hopped in the booth with a rapper from Jacksonville, Florida named Fulio. Fulio is one of the hottest rappers in the city, but we gonna break down why some people think working with Fulio got Desto killed. After Chief Keef, Lil Durk, and all the other Chicago rappers put drill on the map back in the early 2010s, other cities started their own drill waves, and Jacksonville's is probably the craziest. There's been a war going on in Jacksonville for years, and Fulio is one of the main dudes in it. He made headlines for dissing his op, Young and Ace, after Ace lost his brother and two homies to a drive-by. But one of Fulio's biggest ops was a dude named Leaky. Leaky allegedly shot Fulio's girl when she was driving Fulio's whip back in 2020. She survived the shooting, but ended up losing a finger. And on the track, I Don't Smoke Kendre, Leaky's homie Spin the Benz raps, "This nigga mama got shot and he still tweaking. This nigga bitch got shot. Cool, I know she leaving. They shot that whole finger off. She couldn't even tweet it." Leaky also allegedly killed a rapper named Jump Out Squeeze a few months later. A lot of people say Leaky was one of the most active shooters in Jacksonville, but in September 2020, it all caught up to him and Leaky was killed in a drive-by. Fulio's been dissing Leaky like crazy ever since he died. On the track All Gas, he rapped, "Shot my car up twice, then hit my bitch. Now Leaky rest in peace." And on the track Leaky, he said, "100K, he'll shake the room. Sweep his block, we don't need no broom. They ask me how high I am, I'm Leaky high, I'm to the moon." Fulio has also survived a bunch of crazy shootouts, and the ops have been trying to take him out ever since he was a freshman in high school. The first time Fulio got shot was when he was in the 9th grade. Some ops thought he killed one of their homies, so after Fulio got out of school, the ops followed him off the bus and almost killed him. Then in 2020, Fulio was in the same city where Desto died, and the ops caught him again. He was driving down the road in Houston when someone pulled up and started letting off shots, but Fulio made it out alive. Fulio kept the pressure up in the booth and dropped some of the most disrespectful tracks of all time. And in 2021, 2 shooters ambushed him outside of a studio in Jacksonville and dumped 100 shots at him. Fulio busted back and sent them running away, and somehow they only grazed Fulio once in the leg. Then in October 2023, Fulio almost died again, and his mom posted about him getting shot in Jacksonville. Luckily, he survived, and while he was recovering, Fulio went on No Jumper and talked about Lotto Cash Desto. Fulio said Desto messaged him back in 2020, and that's how they first linked up. Desto told Fulio to pull up to the studio because she was a big fan.
I got with Crate like the end of 2020, so this had to be the beginning of 2020. She wrote me, she was like, man, I want to do a feature, pull up on me. So we pull up to the studio, and she just, and that bitch is cheesing. I'm like, what the fuck? She keep smiling for us. She like, man, I'm a big fan of you. I ain't gonna count. I'm from Memphis. They fucked up about your shit, this and that.
And that's when they made the track Pop Out together. Linking up with Fulio was good for Desto's career, but some people think her verse on the track might have gotten her killed. On the song, Desto raps, I'm with Fulio, sliding G, and he got me smoking on Leaky. Desto wasn't involved with the streets of Jacksonville at all, but she dissed Leaky, who had a lot of homies in the trenches. After Desto recorded her verse, Fulio tried to warn her about what she just said, but Desto was still cool with dropping the song.
So we do the song and shit, and she said one bar on that bit, and I told her too, I say, you know what you just said, right? Like, you just diss like the people I don't fuck with type shit. She like, man, it is what it is. I'm like,
Fulio didn't want Desto to diss Leaky like that because he knew it would cause problems for her. But at the end of the day, Fulio said,
I said, you know what you just said, right? And even the people I don't fuck with, they were like, man, why she did that? Like, she ain't even from Jacksonville. Like, I'm like, shit, that's her. Like, you know what I'm saying? I can't tell nobody what to do, but I tried to stop it.
When Lotto Cash Desto ended up getting killed in Houston, a lot of Fulio's ops hopped on social media and started dissing her. Leaky's homie J. Breezy said, now you dead. Wasn't even in your hometown. Should have acted like the gender you are, but you wanted to act like a nigga. Now look at you, fitted casket. Some fans thought the dudes in Jacksonville might be involved and killed Desto for dissing Leaky, but there's nothing actually tying them to her death. J. Breezy even admitted on No Jumper that he could have been the bigger person and never dissed Desto, but he didn't understand why fans were so pressed about him dissing her since Desto dissed his dead homie first.
I could have been a bigger person and not said nothing though. I don't know why everybody mad. Like, there's no point in being mad. Y'all ain't give a fuck when she hopped on the song saying she was smoking my partner. Y'all supported that shit.
Desto's murder probably didn't have anything to do with the Fulio situation, but there's a different theory about her death that's related to the shooting of another Memphis rapper and legend. Back in 2021, young Dolph was brutally murdered in his hometown of Memphis while he was picking up cookies from his favorite bakery in the city. Before he died, Dolph had been beefing with Yo Gotti and the CMG label for years, and the situation had already led to a couple of shootings. So when Dolph died, rumors were flying from the jump that Yo Gotti and his crew were behind the hit. But when the cops started making arrests, the whole case got a lot more complicated. In 2022, they booked the alleged shooters and a dude who helped them get away. But at the time, nobody knew why they wanted to kill Dolph and crashed out in broad daylight like that. Then a few months later, the news broke that the police booked Lotto Cash Desto's dad, Hernandez Govan, for plotting the whole thing. Hernandez Govan was a major player in the streets of Memphis and had ties to a lot of people, including Yo Gotti and his brother Big Ju. When Desto was killed, Govan hadn't been arrested yet, and he hopped on Facebook and said, I think I cursed you, Destiny, with my lifestyle. I apologize, baby. Then just a couple months later, Govan was officially arrested for planning the hit on young Dolph. Rumors say that Dolph's homies knew Govan was involved before anyone else, and they took out Desto to get revenge. Plus, before she left Memphis, Desto linked up in the studio with a rapper named J Money. J Money was part of a crew called Trula Mafia and had a big name in the streets. Young Dolph was also cool with J Money back in the day and had ties to Trula Mafia through him. But that all changed when J Money was murdered in 2016. His death split the crew up, and some Trula Mafia members went their own way and started a set called Double R. Young Dolph fell out with Trula Mafia, and rumors say they were involved with his death. So after Trula allegedly killed him, Double R allegedly got active and started sliding on anyone affiliated with Trula, including Lotto Cash Desto. A rapper named Bandman Kevo knew Desto and said that the dudes who killed her might have wanted to get at her dad Govan instead. But since they couldn't catch him, they decided to kill her. Bandman Kevo said that Desto was a real hustler and definitely on her way up in the industry. But some people claim Desto might have been killed over some other situations she had in the streets. According to reports, Desto had some arrests back in the day for assault. It looked like she was really focused on making it in the rap game right before she died, but sources online say she was known for robbing people, and that's what ended up getting her killed. Crunchy Black is an OG rapper from Memphis who was part of 3 6 Mafia. He has connections all over the city and knows almost everyone in Memphis, and Crunchy Black said that Desto was definitely getting money. In his interview with Vlad TV, DJ Vlad brought up how Desto was on the way up in the industry, and Crunchy told him she was getting money anyways.
It's just sad, man, especially a female with, potential. Seemed like she was kind of getting a buzz up, and, you had a huge artist that was co-signing
Yeah,
it.
right. She was gonna be on her way, but I heard she was getting money anyway.
What makes the situation even more tragic about her death is that Lotto Cash Desto was really trying to help other artists making it in the industry too. A rapper and producer from Blytheville named Kusho Guap had been working with Desto for years. They never got the chance to meet in person, but Kusho Guap was always sending her beats, and they linked up for the track Bricks and Sticks all the way back in 2018. Desto popped off and was working with some of the biggest artists in the game, but she wasn't gonna leave anyone behind. A couple of weeks before she died, Desto was in the studio with Lil Uzi Vert and told Kusho Guap to send her some beats for them to work with. Lotto Cash Desto had a lot of momentum behind her and was about to really take it to the next level, but unfortunately, she didn't get the chance. There are a lot of rumors going around about why she was really killed, but right now, nobody actually knows. Right after the shooting went down, the cops said it might have just been a robbery gone wrong. Desto was known for flashing cash all over social media, and the police thought maybe someone spotted her and just tried to hit an easy lick because they knew she'd probably have a lot of money on her. It's not clear what really went down yet, but tap in for updates because new info could come out any day.